Is light leaking through Nikon's proverbial shutter? Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. So today is a Nikon day, guys, and it's kind of negative and positive, but I kind of have to call it as I see it. Okay, it's going to be a little bit more negative, but it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. So I need to start out with the D750. Now, I think it was like yesterday or the day before, they came out with a service advisory that said the D750 is having problems with a light leak, an unnatural flare that's occurring towards the top of this sensor or the top of your photos or whatnot. It's basically a light leak, okay? And you can return it. Now, that's all great and all, right? That's fantastic. The problem is, guys, this is an old story. I reported on this in like September 2014 or something, okay? That's when they originally came out with this exact same service advisory, this recall. And at the time they said, hey, you know, if you have these serial numbers or this series of is it serials or serial numbers? I don't know. Anyway, if you have these serial numbers from 2014 to like the beginning of 2015, I think it was. So it was like September 2014 to 2015, somewhere around there. If you return it, we're going to fix this problem for you. The problem is now that extended like in 2016 to everyone from like, once again, 2014 throughout 2015 and 2016. And now all of a sudden the third service advisory now says, well, if you have it from 2014 all the way through, like I think it's October or something of 2016, basically 2 years, guys, 2 years, you can return it for a remedy. Now, guys, this goes to QC, all right? If you know there's a problem in 2014, there shouldn't be a problem in 2015. If you know there's a problem in 2014, there shouldn't be a problem in 2016, right, guys? Because you fixed it. Maybe not. Maybe not. This reminds me of back in 2014, I reported on Nikon's D600. Now, if you guys remember, the D600 was, you know, I used to call it the trash can. Okay, debris would fall into this thing like a magnet. If there was anything flying in the room, it would be inside that camera, period. Okay, so for a long period of time, Nikon just said, no, there's not a problem. You guys just don't know how to use a camera. You know, you're pulling off the lens and then leaving it off too long. You're doing something wrong. Okay, of course, blaming the user. Finally, they said, maybe there is an issue. Why did they say it was an issue? Well, there was a class action lawsuit inquiry levied that kind of forced the issue. Now check this out, guys. The inquiry says, Nikon did not identify the cause for the debris buildup on the D600 sensor, nor acknowledge, as many consumers have alleged, that this is a widespread problem with the camera. To eliminate the unwanted and distracting spots in their photos, D600 owners have had to repeatedly send the camera to service technicians for cleaning at great inconvenience and cost. Consumers have also alleged, listen to this, guys, this is important. Consumers have also alleged that Nikon resold D600 cameras returned to the company due to the dust issue as refurbished cameras without actually remedying the defect. As a result, a new set of consumers were sold cameras that produce images with unwanted spots and require repeated sensor cleaning. Yeah. So after this happened, what happened? Nikon returned the cameras. They took them in and said, yes, there's a problem. We're going to fix the issue. And they did. A ton of D600s went in. Matter of fact, I know a couple of people that send D600 cameras in that got back, instead of their D600 fixed, they got the D610. Why? Because the D610 is actually just a fix to the D600. Okay? It's got almost nothing new to it. So this doesn't kind of forebode well for this D750, right, guys? Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up this service advisory. It says D750 service advisory, and it goes through all of the information about what it is. Basically, it's an unnatural shaped flare. God. No, guys, it's a light leak. All right, it's a light leak. But what you need to do here is click this little yellow box that says check your serial number. And when you click on that, it'll open up another page and it'll give you the ability to fill in this box and type in your serial number. So if your serial number is one that's affected, they will send you information on how to get it fixed, and they will fix it for free. So my recommendation is, yes, put your serial number in here and see if your camera is affected. But knowing that they went from 2014 having a problem to 2015, then 2015, 2016. Now they're saying that it's basically 2 years of this camera is problematic. Okay. I personally, if I owned a D750, just return it to Nikon, guys. Just return it and say, I have an unnatural flare going on. I have basically light leak. I have an unnatural flare. Can you fix this for me? Because, guys, if in 6 months from now, all of a sudden your serial number is now one of the affected, and you're in the middle of a wedding or something, and you have like the perfect shot, and you have this awful flare going on, you know, you're going to kick yourself. Just, they're nice enough to fix it, just like with the D600. They fixed it for everyone. And then they actually made a 610 to permanently fix it. But they might do the same thing with the D750. Don't be caught with your pants down and you're having this flare issue going on. Just return it to Nikon. That's my personal opinion. I probably shouldn't say that, but that's what I feel. If this was my camera, that's what I would want to happen. Send it in and let them fix it. So for me, the state of Nikon has just been so negative as of late. And I really hate that because we need someone to compete with Canon. We need Sony. We need Nikon to really beat on them so they can come out with new products and be innovative and not just iterative on everything that they do. It just gets old after a while. We need that. But when we look at Nikon and we see in the recent past, you know, they took an entire line of camera called the DL line that they were putting out there as a direct competitor to the Sony RX100 line, okay? And then they nixed it literally weeks before coming live with it. I think it was like less than a week before going live with these 3 cameras. It doesn't forebode well. And then a couple of weeks after that, they said that 1,000 people were going to be laid off. And then they expanded that to 1,500 people were being laid off or relegated, and those jobs just completely gone. So there is a consolidation happening with Nikon. It makes me worry that, you know, when people are buying these cameras, what are they getting? How does it affect QC? How does it affect quality control? You know, is that going to be an issue as you eliminate so many positions and shrink the company? So even though there's a lot of negativity going on, I do think that there is some light leaking through the proverbial shutter over there at Nikon. I think they're doing something right. Just recently, their president said, hey, we're going down the road of mirrorless, and we're confirming it. Now that's really great, guys, because we know as professionals, it doesn't matter if you're an amateur, a pro-am, or a straight-out professional, cameras that you will be using in the not-so-distant future will not have flipping around anything inside. The mirrors will be gone. Okay, that banging around shutter will be gone. It will all be mirrorless. So Sony is ahead of the game right now. Canon is doing a little bit of something with their M series. I don't know, just call it a little bit of something. But I'm so glad to hear that Nikon is really going to go full steam into the mirrorless technology. I do hope for the best with Nikon because, as I always said, you know, we need that competition. Canon needs to get a kick in the ass every once in a while because they have just been sitting on their laurels for so long, just making these small iterative type of advances instead of these big innovations, okay? It's nice to have a lot of competition so that us, the photographer, the videographer, the hybrid shooter has new and just improved equipment to work with, right? So anyways, guys, a little bit of negative on the Nikon side today. I hate that, but it kind of is what it is. I have to call it as I see it. Once again, if you do have that D750, just return it, guys. Just call into Nikon and return it. You will thank me later for it. I promise you. So that's it for today. If you enjoy my content, as always, throw me a thumbs up. That would be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get more of my nonsense when it becomes available. And head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find a lot of photography tools I've invented for photographers just like you. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.